Let's talk about two high-flying teams in the Conference USA swinging this weekend. Sam Houston Bearcats go on the road to take on the Jacksonville State, also known as Jack State Gamecocks. 12 p.m. kickoff on Saturday on CBS SN. Jack State currently favored in this one by 6 points at home at Amherst Stadium in Jacksonville, Alabama, not Florida. Jacksonville, Alabama. And Brad, these are two very, very good programs this year. 8-3 Sam Houston versus 7-3 Jack State. This could be for the Conference USA title spot heading into December. All these games that we're discussing, they're leading up to something really, really special for the postseason and towards the end of the season for conference championship play. Turn it over to you. Thoughts on these two teams and who comes out on top in Jacksonville, Alabama?
Absolutely, Nate. I want to start off with Sam Houston State. You know, they are fairly new to FBS, and what a job they've done. I'm not, off the top of my head, not 1,000% sure on their record last year, but I know they had a losing record, and here they roll in. You know, we're almost to December, late November, and they're 8-2, battling for, as you mentioned a second ago, battling for a Conference USA championship spot. What a job by the Sam Houston State players and that coaching staff. Really, really good job. Jumping over to Jacksonville State, Nate, I'm sure you knew this, but throwing it back for our West Virginia fans and our Michigan fans, old Rich Rodriguez, the head coach at Jacksonville State, been there a few years, but I will say I know he crashed and burned at Michigan, but this guy is a winner. This guy's a good football coach. He has, some success everywhere he goes. Nate, this one is, to me, when I deep dove into this one and started really looking at the matchups, this is a classic good offense versus good defense matchup. Starting with Jacksonville State, they throw the ball. They keep teams honest, but, man, it's about their rushing game. Their running back, Trey Stewart, 1,200 yards already on the year, 19 touchdowns, and their quarterback is their second lead rusher, Tyler Huff, and he has got 900 yards on the year and 10 touchdowns. So that very, very fun Rich Rodriguez spread option offense, he's brought it down to Jacksonville, Alabama, and they are just a lethal running attack. 2,500 yards on the year. Nate, 38 rushing touchdowns, man. That's some serious numbers. And then jumping over to Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, I think, they don't light it up on offense. They kind of, I would say, nickel and dime teams down the field, only averaging 24 points a game. But, Nate, what really, really stands out to me is their ability to get after the quarterback. And this game is going to be interesting because I don't know how much Jacksonville State is going to look to throw, but 22 team sacks on the year for Sam Houston. They do a good job of forcing interceptions as well, with 10 on the season. So this, to me, it's going to come down to, first of all, can Sam Houston stop the run? If they can't, they're going to be in trouble. And I'm curious, Nate, does Sam Houston kind of really use ball control and try to keep Jacksonville State's offense off the field? I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset here. I think Sam Houston's defense gets it done, and I'm going to take the Bearcats in an upset on Saturday.
Wow, Brad. Wow, going with the underdog. Going with the Bearcats, I guess the undercats, so to speak. Yeah, this is a great matchup in the Conference USA. You touched on a lot of great points for Jack State, for Sam Houston. Sam Houston, not effective as much on offense, to your point, only averaging about 24 points per game, and they are averaging about 353 yards per game of offense, which is not terrible. You mentioned a guy like running back Jay Ducker for the Sam Houston Bearcats, running back who's accumulated 580 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. Quarterback Hudson Watson has thrown 1,300 yards plus 9 touchdowns as well on offense. And then you look at the defense, and we talk about the defense as well for Sam Houston, only giving up an average of about 124 yards rushing per game and 195 through the air, which is pretty good. On the other side, you mentioned Jack State and their dynamic quarterback and Tyler Huff and his ability to run and throw. Just fantastic. You mentioned his 17 touchdowns on the year. Trey Stewart, the running game, over 1,000 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. This one's pretty easy for me. And I also want to mention something else that not a lot of people are going to talk about, which is the special teams with their kicker, Garrison Ripa, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, converting 10 of 14 attempts, including a long of 51 yards. He's really helped out that offense. When that offense gets down there and can't complete the drive in the end zone, he's able to come through and make some big kicks for that team. So I'm going to take Jack State in this one. I'm going to take the favorite. I think both of these teams have a shot in this game, and I think both are playing for something really big with the Conference USA championship title spot. But in the end, I think Jack State just kind of edges out at the end and wins in a fourth quarter close one. Give me Jack State by a field goal at the end. This is going to be a fun matchup, Brad. Let us know down in the comments who you think's going to come out on top in Jacksonville, Alabama for a Conference USA championship title spot.